Hi everyone, this is a follow-up lesson for Diagnostic Quiz 2. A lot of folks had some difficulty with subject-verb agreement and with pronouns. So I'm going to do this little mini lesson here by YouTube video. First of all, in terms of subject-verb agreement, the first thing you got to do is figure out, don't you love that grammar there? Got to figure out what the subject of the sentence is. Is it singular or is it plural? Then you match the verb to that singular or plural subject. So here's some examples where it will all come together. Each of the teachers decide or decides how much time to spend on a particular subject. Since the subject of the sentence is each, that is a singular subject. It's not the teachers as a plural. It is the subject of the sentence, believe it or not, is each. So each of the teachers, each decides how much time to spend on a particular subject. Once you figure out what the subject of the sentence is, it helps me to take out the qualifier phrase that's in there often, muddying the waters, and just say, okay, each decide or each decides. If it's one, it would be decides. So an each is singular. All right, moving on. This one's drives me nuts, but believe it or not, in this sentence, the officer, along with his men, is or are going to fight at the front. The subject of this sentence is the officer. It's not the officer and his men. When you have, if it said the officer and his men, then that would be plural, and you would pick the plural form of the verb to be. But this is not, this along with his men, that's not the subject. That's sort of a qualifier of the officer. So let's take out along with his men, and of course, in that case, you would know that the officer is going to fight at the front. Okay? Next one. Neither of the boys was or were looking forward to the camping trip. Again, neither is like each. Neither, it's either one or the other. Neither, either and neither means you're really referring to one of the boys and not both of the boys. And so it's a singular subject. Neither, or neither, I don't know how you guys say it, neither of the boys, so let's take that of the boys out, just for clarity here. Neither was looking forward to the camping trip. Because the subject is neither, it's singular, and you use the singular form of the verb. Neither of the boys was looking forward to the camping trip. All right, now moving on to pronouns. Got a couple of issues here. Pronoun, we're going to tackle pronouns as subjects or objects, and then we'll go on to pronoun agreement. So in terms of pronoun as subject or object, this is what this is referring to is that crazy thing, you know, is it I or me? And we all goof up on that because usually we pick the wrong one. So here's the rules for that. If the pronoun of the sentence is a subject for the sentence, it is, then it would be in first person, she. So for instance, is she or her the subject of the sentence? Yes, she is the subject of the sentence, and therefore it is she ate the sandwich, not her ate the sandwich. And my goodness, that's an easy one for us. Where it gets trickier is when the pronoun is actually not the subject of the sentence, but it's the object of the sentence. So let's look at this example. The mayor presented my wife and me or I the key to the city. What's the subject of the sentence? It's mayor, right? So when the pronoun in the sentence, which is one of these two words, is an object of the sentence and not the subject, then you're going to use the me instead of I. Lots of us say the mayor presented my wife and I the key to the city. That is incorrect. Because my wife and me, those are the objects of the sentence, not the subject. We say the mayor presented my wife and me the key to the city. Keep looking up this rule, keep practicing this rule. You'll get it eventually, I promise. All right, last thing we want to talk about is pronoun agreements. So you know that pronouns take the place of nouns. They refer to either something or someone. We gotta figure out what that someone or something is. Is it singular or plural? Then we make that pronoun agree or match up with what it refers to, singular or plural. Here's some examples to bring that home. When girls are given opportunities equal to those given to boys, they or she achieve at the same rate. All right, now let's figure this out. Here's they and she. What does they and she refer to? Refers to girls, right? That's who we're talking about. So since girls is plural, we choose they. And that's pretty darn easy. When girls are given opportunities equal to those given to boys, they achieve at the same rate. Here's the tricky one. If a teacher fails the MTTC, they or he or she cannot obtain a teaching certificate. We ask ourselves, what is the subject of the sentence, teacher? And that is indeed what the pronoun refers back to. And so it's not the test. That's not what the pronoun refers back to. It's the teacher. Notice that teacher is singular. So we must pick he or she. If a teacher fails the MTTC, he or she cannot obtain a teaching certificate. This is an example of a problem that many students continue to have, in that they choose, if a teacher fails the MTTC, they cannot obtain a teaching certificate. That doesn't work because they is plural and teacher is singular. So keep in mind, if you're trying to decide between they or he or she, you need to go look at the noun that the pronoun is referring to. If the noun is singular, you must use he or she. You cannot use they. If the sentence was, if teachers failed the MTTC, they cannot obtain a teaching certificate, would be correct. Got it? Let me know if you have questions. Thanks.